Hi and welcome to another episode of the Legacy Coderetreat Codecasts. Today we will talk about how to document possible defects with tests. Over the past episodes we wrote some tests on the existing code and we saw that some of the existing behavior could be defective. So this is why there are some ways of documenting these possible defects, and I will show you 3 ways today. You can read them as well in this blog post I wrote a couple of weeks ago. This is the code base. Until now we have this class player message, which has some very simple methods, and we wrote some tests on it, mainly on these 2 methods, and until now we had these possible bugs documented, and this is a bug because the system accepts a negative player number. This could be a bug because the system accepts a 0 player number, and this one because it accepts 1000 as a player number. We can go on to the next method, player message create when player added, and we can see how to check possible defects here with this entry, this input of the method. This method basically says Adi was added or Alex was added. It's the name of the player plus was added, and of course that could be validated beforehand, or we would need to validate it here as well, but we're not sure about this. And this is why we want to document this possibility, this option, this idea of validation, and we want to check if this would be important at one moment. Of course, if we know this information, then we don't need to write these tests anymore to document possible defects. But if we don't know, then it's very good to document them and then to discuss about this with the analysts. So let's see, returns player message create when player added would be the test, but let's say when player name is empty. If I am expecting only this text, and the actual is oh yes, I need to create the player message as well. Which is a player message class, and I need to call player message create when player added and here empty player name. And if we'll assert Okay, it's green. If we insert something like this, it would be red. Let's see why. I don't have the space. So the test is working. I can go back and I can refactor a bit here. I like to have these spaces between the setup, the act on the test, and the assertion, to show me that these are 3 steps of any unit test. Okay, so if we run again the tests, and I'd like to rename this, say, with empty player name. It's shorter and it was confusing because I had 2 ones in the name. Let's run this again. Yes, and also we can mark this as a bug like this. We created this annotation the last time, and it's very useful because you can search on it. So if you do something like find usages, it shows you wherever you have these possible bugs. So this is one way of documenting a test with tests, a possible bug. So let's rename this to let's commit wrote test for player message when player was added with empty player name, which is a possible bug. So this is one way of spotting possible bugs. Another way I'm sometimes using, especially in languages where it's not that easy to create an annotation, is instead of creating the annotation, I would say like this, possible bug in the front, and let's say with only numeric player name, and this would be like 1. I can rename this only numerical player name, numerical, and the text should be something like this. Okay, so again, if I remove this, it will fail. Oh, this is useful because if I'm doing a search on this, I will find all the possible bugs like this. So this is the second way I usually use to document possible defects. Let's commit wrote test for player message when player was added with only numerical name, which is a possible bug. Another way of doing this is creating another class, and this is the third way So I'm just creating here player message tests and usually annotating it with possible bugs. And here I'm taking this thing and I'm giving it a name, a normal name. Let's say, let's add another test with something like with player name of only one letter. Let's make it red the first time. I'm gonna close this. Let's make it red. Let's try to run it like this. Yes, so it's red. And let's rename this to only one letter name. Okay, I'll add this. Edit new test class to document possible bugs for player message class. Edit test to show a possible bug that player message when player is added can be called when the player name is just one letter. The advantage of this method of using a class is that whenever I have talked to my analyst and possibly this is not a defect, I can take this test from here and just move it here, and that's it, right? And then whenever this class with possible bugs is empty, I can delete it, and let's say that my backlog of discussions with the analysts is has finished, and so everything is clear. The same way, you can find this if you want. You can find this like that. Possible bugs, that's what class is, and it will list you all the tests. The disadvantage of this method is that you won't be able to see all the tests. If I have here this test again, right, and if I'm looking for possible bugs, I will see only the name of the class. I won't see the names of the tests. So that's the disadvantage. The advantage is that I can move the methods without needing to rename each one of them like this. So if I need to discuss this with my analyst, I need to remove this everywhere, and here I need to remove the annotation. Okay, this was about how to document possible defects with bugs. And I will finish this codecast with a bit of refactoring, because I have this duplication here that lasts for a while. I had it in the previous episodes as well, so I don't want to have duplication between the name of the method and the name of the class, because this is why I extracted the method here. And I'd like to rename this like this. Oh, sorry. And just to keep the shorter and more useful name, let's see if this works. And also, because I kept this duplication for a bit too much, I kept the name here always in the name of the test, and it was way too long. And I just want to remove these things. Yes, just rename it a bit to be a bit simpler, to be shorter. Okay, so everything works. I have also, I have this. I don't remember if I kept it in both places. Yes, let's name this as well. Name this. And here, the last test is okay. No, it's not. I'd like to keep it a bit shorter. Okay. Let's commit. Renamed the methods from player message. Remove duplication between the class name and the method's name. Another thing that I'd like to do now is to extract this. Now this thing is in all the class here, all the classes here, so sorry, in all the tests here. So I'd like to do a before or I'd like to extract that thing. I'll keep this as an instance here, and I will instantiate it in the setup. In this way I will have less code written in the test, so my test is shorter, and I really like them short and explicit. As you can see now, the test start using the field. Okay, let's see how this works. Good. So let's commit extracted the instantiation of player name into the before method in the tests for player method for player message. Okay, So I'm pretty happy with how my test looks like now. Okay, thank you for watching, and as always, until next time, have fun coding.